Welcome back to Bernama Today. I'm Jessie Chahal. We're moving into our interview segment, Calls to Champion. Today we're speaking to Shaun Tan. He's an author, an entrepreneur, and also a lawyer. And now he says or claims he can even predict the future. Shaun, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
What's going on? What stunt is this? I mean, on one hand you're a professional, on the other hand, it's as if you are a clairvoyant, a psychic. What's going on?
No, it's just a hobby that I have.
Okay.
I'm not really a clairvoyant or a psychic. My main job is a lawyer, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So I thought this is a hobby that I've been, that I've indulged in since I was 9.
Okay.
And so it's something that most people don't see very often. And I normally use it for certain purposes.
So do you have an innate ability to predict the future in that sense?
I think we all have the ability. It's just
Okay.
whether how accurate we are. I have some, but most of the time is also I use a lot of data to supplement the ability that I have to make it a bit more accurate.
So it's factual, based on stats and research?
And a lot of research and a lot of knowledge of a lot of interest in the things that you want to predict.
But you also say you are a leading prediction expert. But at the same time, you say it's a hobby. So how does this tie in?
Well, it arose from the hobby that I have.
Okay.
And so now I tend to do it more regularly. In this case, I'm doing it for a good cause. It's more for me to raise the awareness of two entities. One is Tender Hearts, which is a cafe for the intellectually disabled, and the other one is for Pertiwi Soup Kitchen, which provides aid for the homeless.
I see.
So of course they do have their own fundraising events and all that, but I thought this is something that is different. It's kind of timely at this point because of the Tanjung Piai elections.
Correct. So coming to that, this event is called a Big Prediction, in which you have committed to predicting the headlines or some of the top stories in 7 different news dailies.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that, and if you can also reveal some of that prediction right here, right now.
Now, I can't reveal what they are, otherwise it will spoil the reveal on the 17th.
Okay, which is this
on the
Sunday?
17th of November, this Sunday. The 7 major print newspapers are NSC, The Star, Sinchu, China Press, Nanyang, and Harian Metro, Berita Harian. So these are the 7 major print newspapers. I'm predicting what they will print on the 17th of November. Of course, Tanjung Piai elections, by-election results will be out by then.
What is your prediction for the elections?
It's sealed in a different prediction.
So you're not going to announce it now?
No, I'm not going to announce it now because it's anticlimactic if I were to do it. But I want people to actually come for the show, which is held on the 17th of November at BAC College at 12 noon. Donate 100 ringgit. And the 100 ringgit will buy 20 meals for the homeless. You get to see an hour-long show with me doing a lot of other stuff.
Like what?
Ending mind reading stuff.
Mind reading?
Like mind reading, like reading a person's mind.
So how can you do that if you don't really have an ability as such?
Well, it's a lot of psychology.
Okay.
Also, if you have a lot of interest in behavior, in people's behaviors, also a lot of interest in statistics, then you can do it to a certain extent.
So does this mean that psychics and clairvoyants are, up in the air?
No, those are a different category altogether. I'm not in that category. Mine is more deductions based on the facts that are known to me.
So you believe that we can all be a predictor?
I think so, yeah. We can all be one. Just matter how much knowledge and how much data that you have. That makes the difference, right? So, so this event is meant to publicize these 2 entities. And if you were to come, then we will show you even more amazing stuff. Ending with a reveal of all the 7 headlines, and to see whether I actually predicted all of them correctly.
What if you don't predict them correctly?
I think I'll get at least maybe 60-70% correct. I can't get 100%
You're quite confident
for sure.
of that?
Quite confident, I think. Yeah.
60 to 70% accurate.
Hopefully it'll be more.
Okay, and
but
if
it
it's
will
not?
never be 100%.
And if
it's not. At least I tried.
Okay.
But
well, what's great about this is you raising awareness for these 2, I guess, different areas, social enterprise as well as a mobile soup kitchen that really need help as well. people say gut feeling. I go with my gut feeling. What does your intuition tell you? How do you sort of justify this, or how do you work with that in terms of when you try to, predict based on facts and research and stats,
Right.
but at the same time, do you go with a gut feeling or intuition?
The gut feeling is still a part of the formula as well. So you can't actually disassociate yourself from there. So you add all these together, the facts that I have, the interest in what's going to happen in the next few days. I did it maybe about a month ago. I'm just focusing on this all the time, and then doing all the research.
Focusing on this all the time.
Meaning I'm spending all my time thinking about it, rather than just waiting for inspiration to come or waiting for things to come. It doesn't work that way. So I spend my time thinking about the 17th of November, what could happen on that day, and these are some of the things that could possibly happen. Now, would they happen on the 17th, or on the 15th, or on the 16th? That is a different thing.
Could you give us a brief outline, though, of some of your thoughts on what could happen?
I don't predict, bad news and stuff like that. That's not what I want.
No 4D numbers and all of that.
No, 4Ds and stuff, no.
Okay.
I can't do that anyway.
20 years ago, you drove blindfolded.
Yes.
Was that because you practiced real well, or what?
Basically, it's an event that where I drove blindfolded from Datana Merdeka to KLCC.
It's quite a distance.
To help the National Council for the Blind to raise funds. So it was very difficult. I actually spent maybe about a month going through the route back and forth because I sort of plan out the route very carefully to make sure that this is neither too long nor too short. If it's too short, nobody will be interested.
So it's not that you could see with your eyes blindfolded. It was just through proper planning and practice, right? And
also through memory, through the sound, because I was accompanied by police outriders, and I was only accompanied by them on that day. And unbeknown to all of us, because they're in front of me, so when I knew I was about near a corner, they actually slowed down before me.
So you picked up on that?
Yeah, I picked up on that because I wound the window down, and that day itself, they were actually helping me without them knowing it.
It seems like you have a lot of smarts in terms of how we can apply this in our everyday life, whether in our career, in our personal development. What's your view on applying these tools?
Oh, okay. This is actually a good thing. If you are actually interested in predicting, basically it's all about psychology. It's about noticing things around you a bit more than the regular person. You put all this together, then you tend to have a more better ability to know what's going to happen. It's really useful if you're in sales, or if you are even as a lawyer, you can actually sort of predict what the other party is going to do.
Tricky.
So you prepare your defense ahead of time, stuff like that. So actually, there's a lot of uses for it.
Okay. Have you ever applied this in your personal life? Because I know I would.
Personal life, as in...
whether it's for fortune or fame, entertainment.
We actually do it all the time. I'm kind of like an entertainer on the side, so I actually do it almost all the time. For a certain period, I was actually performing quite often. And then over the years, I sort of slowed down. I focused on my other career. So now I have more time.
You've been doing this since you were 9, you say, rather. You've had this interest.
When I was interested.
Yeah. So how have you improved this craft, and what's your plan now moving forward?
Actually, I improved on it by constantly practicing it on my friends and people who are willing to see me perform. So at one time I had a corporate show for companies that actually engage me to actually perform in front of them.
So you call it a performance. In my head, I'm like, imagining it to be like a magician up on stage, but it's very different from that.
It's different because magicians, they're doing illusions, they're using props and stuff like that. I have none of those. So for example, earlier on I asked you that I told you I might be able to pick up some
off
props.
air, Shaun asked me to think of something, an image which I've thought of. I've made it quite difficult.
So I don't have the specifics, but I think you're thinking of something that is very colorful, that has a lot of yellows, a lot of reds, right? Some blue, and there's a little bit of could be a night scene or something. And I think you're thinking of something like a painting of some sort. Is that the case?
I did put in the word painting,
Yes.
but the image that I have in mind is the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Oh, the Eiffel Tower. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So,
because I
yes.
thought it's something to do with painting in the first place.
It can be on a painting.
Okay. All right.
And in a sunset scene, it
Right,
can be
right.
sort of red and yellow.
So you can see. All right. So you can see that I actually need a little bit more time if I were to really read somebody's mind. So that few minutes is not enough for me.
All right.
Sometimes, but it depends on the person as well.
Very quickly before I let
Yeah.
you go, any
Yeah.
ideas or thoughts on some prediction for tomorrow's headlines? So you can help us on the show here. We don't have to come into the office so early.
I only
you know.
focus. I only focus on one specific date, which is on the 17th.
Okay.
And that will be ideal because otherwise, every day is like I'm predicting something, which is going to take a lot of toll on me.
That's right.
Especially now when it's, it's so early in the morning that I came in. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Shaun. Wishing you all the best for Sunday, the
Thank you.
17th of November.
Yeah.
For the public who would like to find out more, you can visit Shaun's website, shauntan.co, or otherwise log on online to get more information on how you can be part of, I guess, this initiative that is raising, funds for a good cause. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.